Hello, everyone. My name is Philip Skaggs, and I am originally from Louisville, Kentucky. But for the past 20 years, I've been living in Richmond, Virginia, as a professional ballet dancer with the Richmond Ballet Company. I have been with the Richmond Ballet for 16 years and recently retired about 4 years ago and decided to go into a second career in real estate. So I'm now currently a realtor, but sometimes do some part-time ballet dancing as well. I did not go to college to become a ballet dancer or a real estate agent, but I did go to a dance conservatory. I spent 3 years right out of high school. Well, originally I went to the Youth Performing Arts High School, DuPont Manual in Louisville, and then I from there went to Connecticut to train with the Nutmeg Conservatory, which is a dance conservatory. I used to call it ballet boot camp because we pretty much danced from 9 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. It was a very, very difficult program, but after going through it and coming out on the backside of it, it prepared me for my career as a professional dancer. What did I love most about my job? I love the freedom to express myself. I've always been a very dramatic person, and so I love that the fact that the job allowed me to have physical expression. I also love that it allowed me to meet a lot of interesting people, a lot of diverse people. I think it has opened up my mind and my perception of people, because I've met people from all over the world. I've met people from different diversities, different backgrounds, different cultures, and really been able to see different perspectives on people's lives and lifestyles, and it's just really been an amazing way to make great friendships, and that have lasted half of my lifetime. So the friends that I have now in the ballet world, they will be my close friends for the rest of my life. The thing that I like least about this job is that I want to say that it's a visual art form, and so there are different body types that are required to be a ballet dancer, and sometimes that pushes people to the extreme. So in the ballet world, there can be some eating disorders, there can be a lot of emotional stress that goes along with having to maintain a certain visual component to your body. And the thing I like least about it is seeing people struggle with some of those issues, but I know people in outside the dance world also struggle with those issues as well. But it's in the ballet world, it can be a little more. There's a little more pressure because it's your job to be thin and athletic, and I've always encouraged people to be more athletic than thin, because that's, to me, that's a more visual aesthetic. What would you be surprised to know about my job? I would have to say that my job, what I would be surprised for people to know is that the ballet world is not very glamorous. A lot of people think that, we, kind of tour like rock stars and have, nice hotels and buses, and but the truth of it is a lot of the touring that we do is in-state. It is outreach programs, so we do a lot of lecture demonstrations for elementary schools. Sometimes we're changing, our dressing rooms are like closets in the gymnasium. It's a lot of outreach. Ballet is a non-for-profit, and we get all of our money from reaching out to different communities and kind of spreading the word about the arts. And so I think most people assume that there's more of a glamorous lifestyle to it. There are moments, but for the most part, it's kind of there's a little bit of grit to it. So also something to consider. When I was a kid growing up, I wanted to be a lot of things. I was always, every day, I think I had a new idea of what I wanted to be. At one point, I wanted to be a pilot. I think when I was younger, I wanted to be, like a dancer in music videos. Trying to think of some of the other crazy things. I think I wanted to be play basketball in the NBA. I kind of was all over the place, but I think that's a good thing, to have a lot of dreams, a lot of desires, and eventually life has a way of funneling all your ideas and everything that you know how to do into one like focus, and eventually you kind of pop out where you need to be. Typical day in a ballet dancer's life usually starts in the morning around 9 o'clock. We'll take a hour and a half warm up, which consists of starting from the feet all the way up to your eyeballs, warming everything up, getting everything ready for the day. After that hour and a half warm up, then it's usually about an 8-hour work day, where you go through different pieces of choreography. So some days you might be working on Nutcracker, so you might have an hour or two of Nutcracker, and then you'll have a break, and then you might be working on some contemporary piece, which they might bring in a choreographer to create a new work on you. So you'll be working directly with the choreographer, and they're kind of giving you all kinds of crazy movements that you have to learn and then repeat right there in front of them, which is kind of nerve-wracking but also exciting. Then there's usually a 45-minute lunch period, so quick lunch. No one ever goes out for lunch. You bring your own lunch and kind of sit in the lunchroom and kind of eat real fast and get back to it. So basically it's an 8-hour work day of going through different pieces of choreography, different dances. Then the day usually ends about 5:30 or 6:30. Usually just kind of stretch out a little bit at the end of the day and then shower and go home. But it's definitely a very physical, demanding day. A lot of dancers usually struggle with injuries. Most of the time not bad ones, but just like tendonitis, kind of aches and pains and stuff. So there's a lot of Advil and ice packs and physical therapy involved in that. What do I wish I had known about my job before starting? That's a loaded question, because we all want to know what we're getting ourselves into, and I think for the ballet world, I think it's every day was something new. Every day was something challenging. Every day was, a new wall to climb over. And so I don't know if there would be any way possible to know all the things I wish I had known, because every day was something new to learn. What advice would I give somebody interested in going into the ballet world? I would probably say, follow your dreams, but be true to yourself. There are a lot of people in the ballet world, a lot of people fighting for jobs, and so it's a very, very limited field. And to be able to get a job in that field, you really have to not just be proficient, but you kind of have to be the top of the top, to be able to make it. So if you are not true to yourself, you can spend a lot of time and a lot of wasted effort and trying to get there. And I've seen a lot of people go through that process where all they want to do in life is be a ballet dancer, and they're following their dreams. They're doing what they everyone says, follow your dreams, But that person may not have had the physical stamina. They may not have had the right body type. They may not have had just the drive and the, I don't even know. I mean, it's when you watch somebody do something, some people, you watch them and you go like, wow, I've never seen anybody do something like that before. And then you might see somebody else do it and you're like, oh yeah, that was okay. And you might see somebody and you're like, that was terrible. But I think when I say be true to yourself, I think you almost have to step outside of yourself and look and say like, okay, what category do I fit into? And if you don't fit into that category of being like, whoa, that was amazing, it's okay for it to be your hobby. It's okay for it still to be a passion and for something that you'll love for your entire life. But it may not be the thing that you want to get paid for, because if somebody's paying you to do something, it becomes a job. And if it becomes a job, it becomes stressful. And once it becomes stressful, you still have to love it enough to be able to function in that job. So follow your dreams, but still be true to who you are and what you're capable of, because you don't want to get stuck in this hamster wheel of, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? One of the things that has been really amazing for me in the dance world is that I've been able to travel all over the world, meet cool people. And one thing that I was able to do is I was published in Dance Magazine for an article called Why I Dance. And I wanted to quickly read this to you, and if this is too long, it can be cut out of this video, but I thought I wanted to add this in here because it was something I felt really proud of. And here it goes. Strangulation from a scarf may be the strangest way I have died on stage, but it is not the only way. I've been run through with a sword, I've fallen from a tightrope, and I've been thrown from a cliff. Once I even died from a kiss. I love playing character roles that I can really get into. I love it when I stop acting the part and just become the character, reacting as a character would, whether it's laughing, crying, or finding a new moment in old choreography. It makes me fall in love with dance all over again. One of my favorite things to do in the theater is to sit on the edge of the stage before anyone shows up and listen to the silence of all those who have danced before me. This is my church. Without physical exertion, I think I would go crazy. I secretly enjoy muscle fatigue, extreme muscle fatigue, to the point where I feel that I cannot go on, and then I do. The human body is amazing, the way it keeps going, even when our natural tendency is to be lazy. Sharing the stage with my partner doing a pas de deux is what I live for. I love the trust between partners, the trust that you will cover each other, and I love shared looks that appear to be true to anyone watching who doesn't know otherwise. It's all very romantic. Ballet may be the last place on earth where chivalry still exists. A man can be a man, and a woman can simply be a woman. If men had to wear point shoes, I myself could not be a ballet dancer. To me, dancing on point is proof positive that women are the stronger sex. For me, sick days are out of the question. I like to think that the show won't go on without me. The harsh truth, though, is that I don't take sick days because I know it will. I'm a calculated risk junkie. I enjoy the thrill of knowing that everything could hit the fan, that is, as long as there's little to no chance of injury or death. For example, I love complicated lifts that may be going horribly wrong 5 minutes before a show, and then in the precise moment are executed flawlessly. It is through dance that I've found the best possible friends in the world, and it's through dance that I met my beautiful wife. I have traveled extensively all along the while doing what I love, and I do worry each time the curtain closes that each performance may be my last. The ballet world is truly bizarre. There are so many different personalities and so many different rituals that we practice every day. In my opinion, all dancers are just a little bit crazy, but it's my kind of crazy, and I like it. Why do I dance? I dance because it feels right and good, and I do believe that dance makes the world a better place. Our mission at the Richmond Ballet is to awaken and uplift the human spirit, a noble cause worth fighting for. I hope that this helps you guys in your search for a career, and I wish you guys all the best.